In the depths of space, aboard the colossal warship of the Zarkoni Empire, an insidious plan was unfolding. The Zarkoni, a race of technologically advanced yet morally bankrupt beings, had long viewed humanity as a lesser species, ripe for exploitation. For centuries, they had operated in the shadows, gathering knowledge of various civilizations, but now, they had decided to act on their desire to dominate. Their latest scheme involved abducting humans to study and experiment on them, believing that humanity's primitive biology could be enhanced for Zarkoni warfare. Among the captured humans was Sarah, the bright-eyed daughter of Captain Daniel Hayes. Sarah was only a teenager, filled with dreams and aspirations, unaware that her life was about to take a dramatic turn. Her father, Daniel, was a former soldier whose rumored exploits had earned him a reputation among his peers. He was a super soldier, one of the few genetically enhanced warriors created during humanity's last Great War. However, Daniel had chosen a life of quietude after the battles, hoping to leave the horrors of war behind him. He had settled into a peaceful routine on Earth, where he taught self-defense to local youth, imparting skills that had once saved his life. As Sarah found herself in a cold, sterile chamber restrained and frightened, the aliens loomed over her. Their slender bodies glistened with strange armor, and their unsettling green eyes glowed ominously. The Zarkoni scientists intended to extract information from her, believing she might hold secrets about Earth's defenses. They had no idea that her father was more than just a soldier, he was the best of them. Meanwhile, on Earth, Daniel was blissfully unaware of the chaos unfolding in the cosmos. He was engrossed in his lessons when a signal flickered on his old comm device, pulling him back to a reality he had long buried. The encoded message that appeared on the screen sent a chill down his spine. It was a distress call, Sarah abducted. Zarkoni warship. Panic gripped him as he deciphered the message. His heart raced, and he activated his old combat gear, feeling the familiar weight of the enhancements coursing through him. The world he had left behind rushed back to him, the instincts, the training, and the anger. He was no longer a retired soldier. He was a father, and he would stop at nothing to rescue his daughter. As Sarah endured agonizing tests aboard the Zarkoni ship, the aliens were relentless in their probing. They sought to extract every piece of information from her mind, but she clung to hope. Memories of her father's stories of strength and resilience filled her thoughts. Little did the Zarkoni know that they had underestimated not just Sarah, but the man who would come for her. With a flicker of determination, Daniel commandeered a stolen Zarkoni fighter craft, making his way through the vastness of space. He navigated the ship with the precision of a seasoned pilot, despite years of disuse. His destination was the heart of the Zarkoni fleet, a fortress of shadows and malice where his daughter was being held captive. Back aboard the warship, the Zarkoni scientists were growing frustrated. They had never encountered a human with such force of will. Sarah's spirit was an enigma that they couldn't crack. As they prepared to escalate their tactics, alarms blared throughout the ship, signaling an unauthorized vessel breaching the perimeter. "Prepare for boarding," the commander shouted, panic rising in his voice. They had expected to dominate the humans easily, but now they were faced with an unexpected threat. Daniel stormed onto the ship, his enhanced reflexes and combat skills returning to him with fierce clarity. He navigated through the corridors, taking down guards with swift, precise movements. The Zarkoni had no idea that this was not just a human but a one-man army on a mission of love and vengeance. As he made his way toward the holding cells, he encountered waves of Zarkoni soldiers. Each clash was a brutal dance, but Daniel moved with purpose. Every strike, every dodge, was fueled by the thought of Sarah safe and sound back in his arms. As he navigated the ship, Daniel's heart raced with every step. He was a force of nature, carving a path through anyone who stood in his way. He remembered the training that had once felt like a burden but was now a lifeline. He could hear the echoes of his past as he took down the guards, his instincts sharp and focused. Meanwhile, Sarah heard the commotion outside her cell. Hope ignited within her as she realized that help was on the way. She had faith in her father, a man who had faced insurmountable odds before. When Daniel finally reached the holding area, he found Sarah shackled but unbroken. "Dad!" Sarah cried out, relief flooding her senses. "Hang on, I'm getting you out of here," he responded, breaking the restraints with a flick of his wrist. His enhanced strength easily overpowered the alien technology, and he pulled her close, his heart swelling with the weight of their reunion. But their moment of joy was short-lived. The Zarkoni commander had gathered reinforcements and stormed into the chamber, weapons drawn. "You will not escape, human," he bellowed. Daniel stepped forward, shielding Sarah with his body. "You don't know who you're dealing with," he replied, his voice steady and calm, filled with the quiet confidence of a soldier who had fought many battles. With explosive fury, he launched himself at the aliens, each movement a calculated strike. A flurry of blows sent the Zarkoni soldiers crashing against the walls. Daniel's enhancements made him a whirlwind of destruction, and he fought with the intensity of a father who would stop at nothing to protect his child. As the last Zarkoni fell, Daniel turned to Sarah, who watched in awe. "You were amazing," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with admiration. "Let's get out of here," he replied, taking her hand and leading her through the now deserted halls of the warship. They navigated through the ship's labyrinthine structure, making their way back to the fighter craft that Daniel had commandeered. Just as they reached the hangar bay, the alarms blared once more. The Zarkoni ship was beginning to self-destruct, a last-ditch effort to rid themselves of their failures. The countdown echoed in their ears, but Daniel remained focused, his heart set on escape. "Buckle up," he shouted as they boarded the fighter. The engines roared to life, and with a skillful maneuver, he piloted the craft away from the impending explosion. As they broke free into the vastness of space, a shock wave rocked the Zarkoni warship behind them, a brilliant burst of light illuminating the darkness. In that moment, as father and daughter soared through the stars, they knew they had overcome insurmountable odds together. The Zarkoni had underestimated humanity, and now they would learn that humans were not just survivors, they were fighters, protectors, and champions. As they navigated toward Earth, Daniel turned to Sarah, a proud smile on his face. "Welcome back, kiddo. You're safe now." With hope and courage in their hearts, they charted their course home, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them together. Once back on Earth, Daniel and Sarah's bond had deepened. They found solace in each other's presence, recounting the harrowing experiences they had endured. Daniel shared his fears of losing her, while Sarah expressed her admiration for his bravery. Together, they began to rebuild their lives, stronger than before. Daniel returned to teaching self-defense, but this time, he added a new lesson, the importance of standing together against adversity. He wanted his students to understand that they were capable of overcoming any challenge if they united as one. Sarah, inspired by her father's resilience, took an active role in his classes, helping to empower others. As word of their harrowing adventure spread, the community rallied around them. Friends and neighbors offered support, and Daniel became a local hero. He used this newfound recognition to advocate for better protection against threats from space, drawing from his experiences with the Zarkoni. Meanwhile, the Zarkoni Empire, humiliated by their failure, began to reassess their strategies. They realized that humanity was not a species to be taken lightly, they were tenacious and resourceful. The failed abduction of Sarah had turned into a catalyst for unity among Earth's inhabitants, as they recognized the need to be prepared for potential future threats. In the following months, Daniel and Sarah remained vigilant, aware that the galaxy was vast and full of dangers. They kept their lines of communication open with other planets, forging alliances with those who had faced the Zarkoni before. Their experiences had taught them the importance of solidarity in the face of adversity. As they trained together, Daniel often reminded Sarah of the strength that lay within her. "You have a fire in you, Sarah," he would say. "Never let anyone extinguish it." His words resonated with her, and she grew more confident in her abilities, becoming a skilled fighter in her own right. Their journey had changed them both, not just as individuals but as a family. They learned to cherish every moment, understanding that life was fragile and precious. They would no longer take each other for granted, vowing to always protect one another. As they stood together one evening, looking up at the stars, Sarah spoke with a sense of wonder. "Do you think we'll ever see the Zarkoni again?" she asked, her voice filled with curiosity. Daniel pondered for a moment before responding. "If they come back, we'll be ready," he said, determination in his voice. "Together, we can face whatever challenges await us." In the years that followed, they became known not just for their bravery against the Zarkoni but also for their dedication to teaching others how to defend themselves. Their story of resilience and hope inspired many, creating a ripple effect throughout the community. And as the stars continued to twinkle above, Daniel and Sarah understood that their journey was far from over. They were united by their shared experiences, their bond forged in the crucible of hardship and triumph. Together, they would face the future, ready to embrace whatever came their way, knowing that as long as they stood together, they could conquer anything. As we conclude this journey through the stars, remember that courage knows no bounds. Together, we've explored the depths of the cosmos, witnessing the triumphs and trials of humanity. If you enjoyed this voyage, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more tales of valor and adventure. Your support fuels our quest to uncover the mysteries of the galaxy. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below, and join our community of explorers. Until next time, keep your spirit bold and your dreams cosmic.